Here's yesterday's coffee mug on the workbench. There it goes. Winter in Wisconsin. Let's get to work. Today we're cutting a laminate shelf for my wife's master bedroom closet. Well, it's our bedroom closet, isn't it? But we all know, men, that it's really her closet. Couple tips before we do this, and all thanks to my lifelong dear friends, best friends, Eric and Steve Chater, master carpenters in the area here in Wisconsin. Here's some tips. When you're using an electric skill saw, you want a fine tooth blade and sharp, because the reason I'm doing this is to show you how to potentially, most likely, not splinter the laminate covering. It splinters. If you just draw a line and cut it, it'll probably splinter on both sides. So the tip is, you're going to take painter's tape. Blue, green, orange, red, purple. I don't care what color it is. You're going to need a speed square. Well, it would be helpful if you had one. And a pencil. Whatever measurement you took, use the same exact measuring tape when you lay out the cut. Okay, so I have done that. I know the cut I need, and I've made that pencil mark from this end and that end with my speed square. Okay, I'm going to cover that right down the middle with my tape. I'm also going to put a piece on each side of that center line. I'm also going to do the back side. I'm going to wrap the whole thing, because I feel like that'll give me the most opportunity to not splinter this laminate. Let me show you on my saw. Excuse me. Did not have that ready for you. You may have this on your saw. I hope you do, because it sure makes life easier. Saw. This guide. Because once you cover this markup, you're not going to necessarily know, unless you leave maybe the backside mark visible. You're not going to know where to cut. And if you're freehanding, it's probably fine for a closet shelf. But I find that using this guide slips into the front of your saw and you adjust it. Because my cut is only about 6 inches off the end, I can use that guide and it's going to make that exact cut. So I'm going to set the saw up with this guide before I cover it with tape. There's some tips. Get back to you in a minute with the tape, cut, and the results. So there you go, that's what you need. Added something here. Clamps. Mostly because it's early March in Wisconsin and it just snowed yesterday. And it's 26 degrees out plus the wind chill. So it's probably on around 0. My table's full of ice. This is sliding all over. Of course, it's going to change. It's going to be 65 on Monday. Today's Thursday. That is weather in Wisconsin for you. I've got my saw all set up just the way I want it. I left enough room between the clamps and the saw. I haven't taped it yet, and I wanted to show you the teeth. Now, I did a shelf last week, upper shelf. This one's going on the bottom. This is the tooth blade I used. It's not that fine tooth that I really want, but my fine tooth blades are dull. This worked fine for the last one, so we're going to use it on this one. I wish I could tell you what it says. I can't read it anymore. It looks like a 50 tooth I don't know. You can ask your Menards guy if you don't have one. So let's tape it off and get cutting. Clamps, add that. Put something under your clamps so you don't mar the surface. I mean, if you care that much, I do. I want my wife to be happy. So I just used a piece of old vinyl that I had laying around the shop, then I folded it over so it's 4 layers thick and clamped her up. That's it. Should be fine. Let's tape it and cut it. Okay. Ready, set, go. Swoop the cords away from yourself. Make sure you're not gonna cut your cords or trip over them. Check the ground that you're not gonna trip over anything while you got a saw in your hand, okay? I love this blind faith stuff. You gotta be absolutely sure you have that guide where you want it. Matter of fact, you really want to crank down on this, which I forgot to do. So let me get my pliers and just tighten that a little bit more before we cut. Otherwise it might move on me. Right on. Right on. I got that tightened now. Now real quick, here's the thing. I'm not a carpenter. Matter of fact, I am terrible at carpentry stuff. Absolutely terrible. I know a lot about other stuff, but carpentry, I know you guys got a million other ways of doing stuff, and better, way better than the way I do it. And I would love to have your comments. I appreciate everybody that watches these videos. I don't know how to teach safety, and I might take extra precautions, or maybe I'm forgetting safety things like glasses, hearing, and all that stuff. Sometimes I do forget that, and I'm sorry. I can't teach that. I can't protect you. You have to make the decisions you make. So we talked about a few things. I always have gloves. We added a pair of pliers to tighten your guide, some type of painter's tape, a pencil, speed square, and the same measuring tape that you use throughout the project. So, all right, let's make this cut and see what kind of results we get. Everything out of the way, dogs out of the way, guides on tight. Line that up. Start with your blade away a little bit. You want to come into it with it running. Don't start with the blade on the wood. I like to go quickly through the end as another way of avoiding chipping. Immediately unplug it so you know you're safe. Let's see how we did. You know, it's okay. Nothing to write home about. It's better than if I had not taped it. We'll bring you in here close. Let's take the tape off. Yeah, I think what I'm seeing is when I was going slower, it was better. When I sped up at the end, as you saw in the video, the saw kind of started going. That part did not turn out as well. Let's take a look. Here's the first part. And then the saw sped up and started chip, chip, chip. So I guess control the speed of your saw, right? Let's take a look at the underside. Stand by. Let's look at that. Because on this, the underside, if it's better, could become the top side. If that's the case, I guess that'd be another recommendation, right? Get your bottom side up. Let's find out. Sorry for the delay on the clamps here. There we go. All right, let's take a look. Flipping her over. Oh, that side turned out perfect, really. I mean, other than one tiny little, let's take a look. Let's talk more showing. So this was the bottom side. Here's that one tiny little, I mean, that's small. So I'm gonna make this my upside. All right, well, there you go. I hope that's been helpful. I hope some of the tips have been helpful. And again, kudos to my friends for teaching me this little trick. Thanks again for watching from me and Ranger here on this icy cold day in southeast Wisconsin. Take care.